Join me on the debate stage. Let's have another debate. There's more to talk about, and the voters of America deserve to hear the conversations that I think we should be having on substance, on issues, on policies. What's your plan? What's my plan? And we should have another one before Election Day. So thank you all. Thank you.
Donald Trump just got a huge endorsement that has signaled disaster for Kamala Harris in the state of Michigan. This could literally rock the election as we know it. And obviously, we've seen that she's begging for a second debate. So what we're going to do is react to this endorsement announcement for Trump and then respond to her begging for this second debate. Now, before I get into this endorsement, you guys have heard me say that endorsements do not matter. That is my own opinion, and recorded history has shown us that. The only endorsements that do matter is when they're coming from other political figures that have a voting base attached. So RFK Jr., that endorsement mattered because even if his base turns out to be 1 to 2 percentage points shifting towards Trump, that well may be the difference in this election. And the same could be said for this mayor in this Michigan city who happens to be Muslim. It's a Muslim majority city that is endorsing Donald Trump. Now, again, this speaks to the issue that Kamala Harris finds herself in. I just did a video on her failings when it comes to Hamas and Israel. So this is right in line with that, where there's a lot of Muslim Americans that do not support Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, especially because of how they've handled the Hamas and Israel war. Okay, so the mayor of Muslim majority city in Michigan says he's endorsing Donald Trump in the 2024 election, calling the former commander-in-chief the right choice for this critical time. He wrote that admitting he and Trump didn't agree on everything. He said he regarded the former commander-in-chief as a man of principles. And I guess this is a photo of this gentleman. Now, they did recently meet and had a conversation. So right there is a big thing for me that separates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump as a commander-in-chief. Donald Trump is willing to go into hostile territory to have conversations. Okay, he's willing to be open to hear the opposing party or to hear opposing views. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, she is not willing to have those types of conversations. So here's what he wrote on his Facebook page. Though it's looking good, he may or may not win the election and be the 47th president of the United States, but I believe he is the right choice for this critical time. I will not regret my decision no matter what the outcome would be, and I'm ready to face the consequences. For this and for many other reasons, I announce my support and endorsement for the former and hopefully the next president of the United States, Donald Trump. Then he added, now let the caravan begin its journey. This is just the starting point. Now, there's one more thing that he said, and it's this, that he believed that Donald Trump knew a lot about me before the meeting. So obviously Trump went in there prepared. He said that they talked about various topics, including the debates, the poll updates, the numbers about the votes in Michigan and Wayne County, the Arab American concerns, and we also talked about the situation in Yemen. So obviously, like I just stated, Donald Trump went in there to actually have a genuine conversation to earn the endorsement or support from the Muslim community. Now, we already covered that the Muslim community is voting for Jill Stein at a 60% clip. Then Donald Trump comes in at 14%, and then Kamala Harris comes in at 12%. You have to understand that is a disastrous poll numbers for Kamala Harris, because usually the Democrats are leading in that poll. So those are votes that she's going to miss out on. This is why they tried to remove Jill Stein from the ballot in Michigan, by the way. But they sued to keep RFK Jr. on the ballot in Michigan, which is kind of funny, right? But this is what the Democrats do. They try to use lawfare to cheat their way to the outcomes that they're looking for. And this is not an outcome that they want. But this is where they find themselves because, as we've already talked about, the handling of the Hamas and Israel war is a double loss for Kamala Harris. Whether you are a huge supporter of Israel or you're a huge supporter of Palestine, you look at her as a person who is not the solution. And here is Donald Trump reposting the mayor's post on Facebook onto Truth Social. He didn't provide any caption to it, but he did repost the screenshot of this. Now, before we get into the full interaction that she had with the press that was unscripted, let's remind ourselves why this endorsement is so key based on the current polling numbers that just came out of the CBS poll. Watch this.
A new CBS News poll shows 52% of likely voters say abortion will be a major factor in their vote for president, though 88% say the economy holds the most weight. The vice president is narrowing her deficit with Trump among those concerned about the economy, though 59% still think it's bad. The poll also found Americans' position on immigration sharply divided.
I don't care who we are, live in a city of 4,000 people, and you bring in 2,500 migrants overnight into one place, there are going to be problems.
Trump wins with 83% of voters who believe immigrants commit more crimes and 80% of those who think immigrants take jobs from citizens. Harris wins with 65% of voters who think immigrants fill jobs Americans won't do, and 74% of those who say they're part of what makes America special.
The latest Fox News polling shows Harris ahead by 2 points nationally, 50-48. Those numbers flip, though, when you look only at battleground states. There, Trump holds the advantage. Pollsters say that's a positive sign for the former president's chances in the Electoral College. Meanwhile, it's looking increasingly unlikely the two candidates will meet for a second debate before Election Day. The Harris campaign agreed to a debate on CNN, but Trump says it's too late for that. Early voting has already begun in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Virginia.
Yeah, so according to Fox News poll, they have Donald Trump up by 2 percentage points in the battleground states. According to the CBS poll, the immigration and economy is still the top issues for voters. So when you look at those two polls and you see the bigger picture and you hear about that endorsement coming out of Michigan from a city in Wayne County that is majority Muslim Americans, this might be a big deal for who wins Michigan. And if Donald Trump wins Michigan, it's more likely he's going to win Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. And the reason why I say that is because historically, if a candidate was to win any of those 3 states, they usually win all 3. And so this is a huge deal for her, which is why she felt compelled to go off script and beg for that second debate herself. She didn't send out a campaign surrogate. She, from her own mouth, begged for another debate. Let's hear it.
Well, you probably heard I would like another debate, so I'm hoping the former vice president will agree to that. But we have a lot more to discuss.
You raised 27 million message to Donald Trump that you called for a second presidential debate. I know you told your donors he's looking for any excuse or a reason not to. But what's your message to him?
Join me on the debate stage. Let's have another debate. There's more to talk about, and the voters of America deserve to hear the conversations that I think we should be having on substance, on issues, on policies. What's your plan? What's my plan? And we should have another one before Election Day. So thank you all.
Yeah, she doesn't have a plan. Remember what Trump said? It's like 4 sentences, run, spot, run. I mean, I find it funny or rich that she's talking about, let's talk about plans. Let's talk about our ideas and what we're going to do for the American people. Oh, yeah, but I did turn down Fox News, and I did turn down CBS, and I did turn down NBC. Okay, got it. Right? We just talked about this, right? We just did a video where her surrogate came out begging for that debate. And so I guess, it's getting urgent that she goes off script asking for it. So, of course, her internal polling must be saying that she needs this second debate. Now, this wouldn't be a second debate for Trump. This would be a third debate for Trump, right? Because he already did 2. So I find it funny how Trump has done more debates than she has interviews. That's a whole nother thing, too, by the way. And so if Donald Trump overperforms even by 1 percentage point, he becomes the next president of the United States. Now, some people might wonder, how is it that Donald Trump overperforms when it comes to the election? It's because he has a lot of people who are going to vote for him that won't say anything because they don't want to deal with the backlash or the arguing or being criticized or judged. So this past weekend has been full of surprises from the Kamala Harris campaign. Number one, she begged for the debate, obviously, because she needs it. We know that the internal polling isn't looking good for her. 2, you have that big endorsement that might just rock this election in favor of Trump. 3, you have those polls continuing to show that the top issue for most people is the economy, and then immigration, and then crime. I mean, why would Trump do another debate when people already know he's the guy who's going to get that stuff done? He's done it before. He'll do it again. And that's why I asked people on X and in my last video that I did, who needs the debate more, Trump or Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris needs this debate because she's undefined. People still don't know who she is. So that's my opinion on this. What's yours? What do you guys think about this endorsement out of Michigan? Do you think it's going to make a difference in this election, especially in the state of Michigan? And what do you think about what the polls are saying about who voters trust most when it comes to the economy, immigration, and crime, and where Donald Trump sits when it comes to the battleground states, which is 2 percentage points ahead of Kamala Harris? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Thank you for checking out the video today. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true. Peace.